Bob McLeod, and you're watching Omni X-Men.
What is up, guys? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday night. It is Omni X-Men, and yes, we're talking Uncanny X-Men 202. I am feeling a little jet lagged. I just got off a flight. I was out in Vegas. If you guys are following me over on Instagram, so bear with me tonight. Had a great time. We'll talk a little BSB later. Maybe got to see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. It's fantastic. Anyways, yeah, we got a great night tonight. I hope you guys got your Bible with you, your Omni X-Men Volume 5, technically Volume 5 edition or whatever version you have, because we know there's a few out there. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump right in and bring in my good friend and co-host John from John's Comics with Kids. John, oh, hey, John, oh.
Look. The only thing that's going to make the Beyonder Secret Wars 2 worse is you start talking Backstreet Boys. This is really, we can't, there's a limit to what I'm thinking here. There's only so much. There's only so much I can take. Look, NKOTB, you know, that might be more on my level, my youth. The Beyond gang, I apologize in advance that not only is this a Secret Wars 2 crossover, we've got one more. We got one more coming up next week. The Beyonder is not done.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, John. I know we were just talking about 203, the cover, and I said I don't think I've ever even had remote interest in buying that. I was tricked. I was tricked with this issue, because I just thought we were going to get something non-Beyonder in the issue.
You should have looked up in that corner.
Except, yeah, that little
corner, right? It's not
corner.
lying. It's not lying. Right up there. It tells you. Warning, flash, warning.
Yeah. Back to back.
I'm not an NSYNC. You know what? Look, gang. I'm a musical moron. Let's just be fair. Let's be fair. I am not the guy. I'm here for comic books. Dang it! Like, don't you people understand? I am a mature individual. I am here to talk about comic books.
That's right. Dang it.
Priorities.
Well, hey man, we got another great show tonight with a great guest. Somebody he's been with us every year. We appreciate him. A good friend of ours, good friend from the community, known him for quite some time, basically since I've been posting comic books and reading comic books. And the guy was just in Japan not too long ago. Guy travels the world, makes me think of Wolverine and all the stories that we've kind of gone through in his travels. So our good friend Alan, aka Climbing Comics. Alan.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Up, brother?
How's it going? So
good,
glad
man.
to be here.
Heck yeah, dude. It's been a while, man. How's everything going?
Dude, life is good. Life is good. I heard about your Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. That's pretty crazy. You know, I might be an NSYNC kind of guy, but you know, it's all brotherly love here.
It's all love.
I think I got nausea from the crazy spinning dome just watching the movement of that thing.
I definitely did in the beginning. Like when you first turn around and look, just the what do you call that? Like vertigo kind of vibes, you know?
Oh man.
Definitely true. But you get used to it. But well, dude, we appreciate you coming on, man. Always a pleasure, and appreciate you supporting us and being part of this show, part of this channel, through and through. So yeah, like I said, if for those watching right now, if you're watching the replay, if you do not follow Alan, make sure you do so. I put his information in the description below. Definitely hit him up. Like I said, I really enjoyed watching. I mean, you're always traveling, Alan, I feel like, and it's extra cool to see you always bring a comic book or 2 or 3 with you.
Yes.
and take the pictures out where you're actually at, which always I'm like, oh, where's he at? And then you hold a comic up with it, and I'm like, oh, I love it. I just love it.
Yeah, so all of a sudden it's like he's on a hiking trail, and he's like, I
like to bring comics where they haven't been before, you know?
Yeah, dude, I love that.
They want to travel too.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
I get it.
Well, awesome. Yeah. Hey, I also want to remind everybody, make sure you're following John if you don't already, because of course we'll be over on John's channel next Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern. So be ready for
more
that.
Secret Wars 2.
203. Yeah. Be ready. By the way, guys, I almost when I was setting up the stream last night, I set it for what I thought was 9:00, but since I was on your time, West Coast time, it was not going to be that time. So luckily I just caught it earlier this morning and changed that. So we are here on time. Let's say a quick hello to the chat, and then we'll get this going. Johnny, first and foremost, here we go. We got our good friend Matt, Impress Comics, in the chat. What's going on, Matt? Doing well. We also had Adam make stuff up. What is going on, Adam? Always a pleasure. We have our good friend Candace Barbosa in the chat. What is going on, Candace? Hello, hello. Jackson Roy Kirk in the house. I'd make said no. Yep. Ryan Magic Lasso Beyonder. I just met her. Shouts out to all of our favorites: Diana Ross, Rachel Dinners, the Judds again, Justin, John, Allen, the chat, Candace, Matt, MP. I love all the shout outs.
He's always shouting people out. Yep.
Absolutely. Gotta love it. Let's see, scrolling through people saying hi to people. We got our guy Bobby Delgado Station. Bobby, what's going on, my friend? Right, just scrolling through. All right, I think I got everybody at the moment. Want to remind everybody to stick around for after we break down issue 202, because we do have our trivia questions based on last episode, which was technically about a Marvel Fanfare 33 issue. So remember that with our friend Albert last week on John's channel. So a little bit of a mixed or a little bit of a curveball here in between these uncanny issues, but nonetheless, a good time. Hey, we got our guy Rod the Rican in the house. What is going on, Rod? Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. All right, and so stick around. We have our featured artists, the Fraim brothers. We have a huge giveaway at the end of this season, which will land in June. So in order to get your name on the board, you want to be able to answer those questions that we're going to ask here at the end of this episode. So stick around. Let's get into this thing. I mean, I think there's gonna be some mixed feelings flying around here, and I'm curious where you all land on this.
If you think the feelings are gonna be mixed,
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I mean, mixed in that, we like this part. There might be other parts we don't like.
Maybe.
John, I'm gonna pass it to you. What do you think first and foremost with this cover of 202?
I think we can stop right here. I don't know that we need to review the issue. I don't know that we need to go any further. This cover is fantastic. I love it. Get rid of the little Secret Wars logo in the corner.
Yeah,
this is very exciting. Even Storm, Powerless Storm, is like strolling between the legs of the Sentinels down there, huffing and puffing. I'm enjoying that. This cover it feels like a poster or a statue or something that you could decorate with, because it's like you got Rogue smashing through one of them, you got Colossus getting pulled apart there by the other one, you got Wolverine cutting him up, Magneto trying to like capture one. It's just like dynamic, it's fun. It's got snow, it's snowing, like all of it. It's all the things. This was a December cover, or no, November cover for this. Oh no, it says February. February. Okay. So winter time, I guess. Winter in New York.
I mean, yeah, I'll say we definitely have snow here for sure still. So,
I feel like it just has all the fun vibes. I really do enjoy this cover, and it's all we need. There's nothing else. This is just cap it right here. We've peaked.
It's peaked.
You don't get a lot of JR covers that are going to be the highlight of the comic.
That's a great way to put it. Well said. And a great point about the snow. I think that this is a book I've chosen several years in a row as one of my 25 Days of Christmas posts, because of course you guys know I love Christmas covers, and if I see snow, to me it's Christmas cover. So boom, there you go. That's another special thing about this issue. Alan, I'm going to throw it over to you. What do you think, or what did you think of the cover when you first saw this thing?
Yeah, so when I first talked to you guys about which issue I could come on, it was actually this one, mainly because I had a friend visit, Lenny. I don't know if you guys know him, pretty fly for a Filipino guy. He came to the Bay Area. We actually did some comic book hopping, and I was trying to just fill in my X-Men run. And this cover just caught my eye, and I just picked it up. And then, so this is like kind of, I love Sentinels. I don't know, I'm sure you've seen on IG, like all the huge Sentinel figures, the mini Wolverines, the mini Jubilees, all those things, like all the X-Men fighting against those Sentinels. This is exactly why I love this cover, because you have the huge Sentinel, everyone fighting against them. It's definitely a really, really cool cover.
Yeah, well said. I totally agree. And yeah, looking down even at the details at the bottom, I know, John, you pointed out Storm. I like Kitty Pryde coming out of the floor, even, like just those details. I think I agree that this would definitely be a great poster the size of the figures for the Sentinels and everything just like fills the page so well and very
and Magneto wearing those parachute pants. It looks like they're really something.
Yeah.
He's got MC Hammer style pants there. The cape with the giant M on the back. He's still wearing his courtroom.
I was gonna say that's the courtroom look. Yeah, he's
he's got sleeves. He's got puffy sleeves now because it's snowing. It's not France in the summer.
Trying to stay warm. Let's see, a couple good things here in the chat I wanted to highlight. So Candace had pointed out, she said, I actually found last week's issue for $2 at my LCS, bought it for the memories and the pinups. Yeah, from the fanfare. That's
Marvel.
awesome.
Yeah, the fanfare.
Yeah, I was looking for it last week myself, and I could not find that particular issue. So I don't know if it's just because it's so hot, or if it's, I don't know. They just
now that we talked about it, it's blowing up.
It's
clearly,
probably
it's not in the $1 bin. It's in
now it's in the $2. That's right. It's going somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, Adam says a Sentinel cover, always good. Agreed. Let's see. Yeah, so Roy Kirk says February, but it came out in November. So
that's what I was trying to remember, like, because something in my head was like, this is a November book, right? But no, it's it releases, but the cover date is February. Yeah, got it.
We got Ruben Guzman in the chat. What is going on, White Tiger? Good to see you, Cowabunga. Yeah, Bobby says cool cover. Yeah, I've never seen a Sentinel smile. I think
I've heard Nimrod cackle.
Yeah, oh, definitely, that.
He's kind of related.
Yeah, these guys are kind of just yelling. It looks like their mouths.
No, yeah. I mean, when you have Rogue smashing through your chest,
yeah,
there'll be some yelling.
Hard not to. All right, well, let's go downhill from here then, guys. We have we got this awesome splash page here, and right off the bat, we kick it off with the Phoenix, although not Jean Grey Phoenix, but Rachel Summers Phoenix.
Yes.
And it seems to be, we get this splash page of her leaving this message. She says, X-Men, I've gone to kill the Beyonder, in big letters. And then it turns out that it's this hologram that she's leaving a message essentially for the rest of the team. So she's already gone. She left the mansion, and Rogue kind of walks in to get this message. She quickly relays it to the rest of the team, and everybody's at this point scrambling because they're nervous for her. They know how powerful the Beyonder is. I will say, and I know we've talked briefly about the Beyonder from a few issues ago when he was part of another storyline. I was never that familiar with the Beyonder. I understand that he was part of the two big events, or really the main Secret Wars event, plus now the new one. But even then, I just didn't know much about him, and still don't know much about him. So anyways, but the team knows how dangerous he is, or the capabilities he has. Wolverine immediately all for it. He's like, I wish I was there for the kill. He says, I love that line. While Storm is yelling at him to put his claws away, and that they got to remember that this guy's a lot more dangerous than anybody thinks. And they don't even know really the state of mind that Rachel's in. And they still don't really know her powers either, as far as what level they could go for the Phoenix. Is she equal to what her mom was, or is this something different? So even for them, it's a bit of a question. We do get to see Cerebro in action, which I feel like we haven't seen that machine be used in a while since we've been doing the seasons here, John. But this time around, normally obviously it's Professor X. So this time around, since Magneto is the teacher in session here, he's the one that's running things. And Wolverine definitely gives it to him a little bit here when Magneto is kind of complaining, or not complaining, but stating why there are issues as to why they can't track her down so easily. And it's for reasons that he had kind of started to begin with. So just a little something, because we see that a few times in this issue where Wolverine kind of tests Magneto and kind of fights back a little bit. Magneto kind of strikes back a little as well. Who knows? It's kind of a risk in a way. I know this is something Scott has been struggling with, is trying to find trust for Magneto. I think the rest of the team still is also a little bit on edge too, or a little bit aware in certain levels. So
yeah.
Last minute here on these last pages, they end up seeing or getting this extraordinary boost of energy, which they recognize or they question to be, being her. And that's really all they get before they want to jump into action. So, kind of a lot to go off of here right off the bat, just as far as the team being concerned. So, John, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on where this is going? And also, what are your thoughts on the artwork?
As always, my first thought is about clothing. Colossus, do you sleep in your torn costume? Is that what you wear to bed? Because it seems like everybody else like came. I know you just got back from somewhere, but like,
Yeah,
you're just wearing the torn shreds. At least Wolverine's got a kimono on. Like he's like, I got a kimono. Everybody's got a kimono. Right?
Yeah,
I just was almost married recently. Like I got a kimono from the trip.
it's the around the house kimono. Yeah,
No, he's got the shreds. Storm, on the other hand, we got topless Storm here. Rogue comes up to say, "Hey, Storm, we need your help," and she just gets flashed. And Storm's just like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me think for a second. Yeah, I'll be right down." And just like flashing her, just completely flashing Rogue getting an eyeful. So lots of wardrobe questions that John's got here.
Yeah, that's fair. I think.
I do love the splash page. It's a great dynamic, like Phoenix, and she's called Phoenix 2. They use the Roman numerals because it's the sequel. But yes, Phoenix 2 a splash page there is kind of fun. And then I love how everybody gives Magneto grief. Like the Cerebro's not working right. Yeah, you remember, jerk, when you broke Earth and the Cerebro stopped working? Maybe you could fix Earth again, and then we could use it again, you jerk. Like they just dump grief on Magneto, and Magneto's like, "Are you always such an ill-mannered lout?" Wolverine's like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?" And Magneto's like, "Maybe later." Yep. You realize my power controls metal, and you are full of metal, right?
It wouldn't work out too well.
This is not a good combo in a fighting sort of scenario. So lots to enjoy here. So yeah, those are the things that came to mind immediately for me.
Love it. Alan, what about you? What are your thoughts here going into this issue?
Yeah, like when I first saw Rachel as Phoenix, it reminded me of that very first one of the first issues from the Dark Phoenix saga, right? I think it was like 108, where they kind of see that she is a reality bender. And I was like wondering, what type of powers does Rachel have? Can she do something like this? And then also, I didn't realize that just anyone could use Cerebro, because it says it just amplifies your psychic ability. And I was like, does Magneto, like, what's his like kind of inclination to kind of psychic power? So I was like, oh, this is a very interesting setup. Let's kind of see how it goes. And then, of course, yeah, the changing the magnetic poles of the Earth or whatever he did. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Yeah.
Yep.
I had to look back after John said there was some flashing going on. So as I was just paging through it,
you should definitely go back and take a look.
I should just take a look.
It's very, very evident.
It's definitely a double take for me as well.
Yeah. So, yeah. Rogue, on the other hand, is like, what's going on up here?
Should have not. Sorry. All right. Well, yeah. Let's dive into the next bit here. So, we kind of jump over to thoughts from the Beyonder. We start in just this black pitched panel here. I will say, reading this digitally first, swiping through was kind of cool. Again, it's almost movement, the cinematic, vibe that it gives. Not that there's a ton of detail in those at least those first couple of boxes. But yeah, it's essentially the Beyonder who is looks to be he's by himself. He's just pondering, thinking about ways that he can use his powers to provide good or help others be good or help others find their purpose in life and how that can amplify them to be happy and good and live a good life and yada yada. So we get a little bit of that, and then that it quickly is he gets it seems to be that he gets attacked by Rachel, who finds him. But all the attacks that she sends at him are essentially missing. But you do get this really cool like bomb explosion on that far right splash page there with the with the water underneath and everything. So and I think this is technically she found him on Alcatraz is where they highlighted.
Correct. Yep.
So yeah, that's really just these like short bits here before we get into more of the thoughts. But John, anything here that you want to highlight or point out?
I mean, so for the Beyonder uninitiated, the original Secret Wars, you never see him. You see light in the sky, you see energy, and you hear a voice. He does not have a form. So the big change in Secret Wars 2 is he's become David Hasselhoff. That's like the big
Yes.
big change. They put him in a Knight Rider kind of white costume. Actually, he could have been dancing with your Backstreet Boys. He was wearing the all white. It was very popular. There's some shoulder pads.
Oh, nice.
So that's the big, if you want to know the primary difference between Secret Wars 1 and 2, it's Michael. It's that big change there. So anyways, we burn on John Romita Jr.'s artwork a lot, but I love these pages. I think these pages are gorgeous. I think the setup you mentioned with the 9-panel grid here is kind of trippy and cool, and it gives a nice vibe. And then the instant angry Phoenix come flying in, the intensity of all those drawings, and then that nuclear splash page is wild.
Yeah.
You flip to that page and you're just like, what is happening? The color work is stupendous. The detail work is fantastic. So as much as we like to take shots at John Romita Jr., no notes on these 3 pages. It's absolutely fantastic.
Love it. Yeah, no, I think you're spot on there. Alan, what about you? What are your thoughts here as we get to see at least the initial introduction to Beyonder here in this issue?
Yeah, I really like the composition of how JR did the art here, mainly because I have been to Alcatraz before. This definitely reminded me of The Rock. So him just hanging out there just kind of reminded me of just like, the army folks just sitting out on Alcatraz, looking onto the city, kind of just thinking about their future, and kind of that radar effect of seeing the Phoenix fly over San Francisco into Alcatraz was really cool.
Yeah, great point. That's cool. Roy Kirk says, I was thinking he was more like Shooter. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that. Shooter at that time. Yeah. Baywatch Beyonder. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, don't hassle the Hoff. Don't hassle the Hoff. Because here he is. Let's get that full pose here on this next page. Look at this guy.
Yeah, let's dive in. So yeah, you get the full pose here, and right off the bat, he's talking to her in such a calm voice. Again, very the only thing that I picture him to be is like a god, essentially. So like he's just very calm, and even though he's being bombarded with blasts from Rachel, from Phoenix, he's just like he's like, we've met before. He's like, I kind of recognize you. And they hint back towards, I guess, 196, which was one of the ones we broke down before. She basically is just coming at him, saying that she's going to stop him for, how dangerous he is and everything that he does. And instead, he basically highlights the idea of like, he's come to this world to learn stuff, but essentially everyone he's talked to only knows little bits and pieces. They don't have the full image or the big picture the way he has. And he thinks that they lean on a lot of things with the resolution of death. They have that, image of death there that he kind of changes into. I did think that was a kind of a cool shift in the middle pages there, or transition. And he just starts to talk to her about essentially a deal of, calling out her feelings and what she might be dealing with, and what she's gone through basically since the world that she's been in. And he takes her to that world, essentially that far page there. And I had to put like a Scrooge, I love it. Kind of dead. Yeah. Like that was the exact vibe I thought of or scene I pictured. But yeah, he basically walks her through where she wants to jump in and resave her friends that died back from, the Days of Future Past, scenes. And he's like, no, you can just observe. We're here to just observe. You can't affect anything, but this is the stuff I know you went through. And obviously it brings up a lot of memories. We know that Rachel's been dealing with this stuff for many, many issues, hiding a lot of feelings, thinking about a lot of things, just feeling guilty about a ton of things. So Beyonder is not wrong here in how she's feeling, especially, the guilt that she has and sort of the what she seems to feel as like a failure to seeing her friends die, not being able to help them throughout her time. And so that's a lot of the stuff that he brings up before offering her an opportunity. But Alan, I'm going to throw it to you. What did you think of this? Now we get a little bit of a, Beyonder talking with her and trying to reason with her and, all that.
Yeah, at this point, I thought I was like, oh, the Beyonder is he a good guy? Is he like is he something like, that we might not think he is? But then I love that, like in that middle splash page where you kind of see him turn into that skeleton type of guy, and that reference to what's that movie, the Christmas
Carol?
movie, the Christmas Carol, yeah, that he goes back
because
to.
even the Beyonder
yeah.
says it, right? He says, like Ebenezer in your Dickens tale, we cannot interact with this story.
Yeah, it just, I love like these callbacks where it's not necessarily like a little white box that says see issue number 43 for this reference, and then they actually just show you the references in which, like, hey, this is actually what happened to her, like in that time, that reality of what was going on. So I thought that was really cool, where I do like callbacks, but callbacks where I don't have to like reread a whole issue. But I love that series. I love that callback.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know Days of Future Past was one of the, our favorites as far as breaking down from, I guess, John, that was technically season 2, probably.
It was a ways back, because that's the first Rachel appearance.
Right.
That storyline.
Yep. And so, John, what did you think of? I mean, seeing some of these scenes again, maybe in a different light or different angle, but certainly walking through a lot of the the Baxter Building and all that stuff, very accurate to those issues.
Yeah, for sure. My brain went to Coming to America and Let Your Soul Glow. Just let your soul glow. He's got that soul glow hair. He's got that Jerry Curl soul glow hair going. I just feel like there may be some brother in there. I don't know. That outfit. Wow. That outfit, it gives me Miami Vice vibes. It's a lot of I am in 1985 here, gang. I am feeling the 85 vibe. But again, I think as much grief as we give JR, he's not the problem yet. he's doing
yet. I like how you say yet.
have to preface it. There's an asterisk, but like, look at some really great pages here. The character emotions are so strong, whether it's Phoenix, just like all fire and rage, or just the passive calm of the Beyonder, who keeps saying things like, yeah, I know that. I know this too. You can't really hurt me, but I understand that you're upset. I get it. I know you. We've met. He is very passive and very calm. And then you get those, like you said, everybody's mentioned that great transition into death and that traveling back traveling to the future. But for us, back to issue 141 and 142, some really kind of cool visual things happening here. And I dig Rachel's Hound look with the like scarring across her face.
The
sunlight.
Sure.
I've always liked that look for her. So the visual aesthetic of this is really working, and the storytelling, it's still at this point, it's still working for me, despite the fact that the Beyonder is a very big, puffy, empty shirt.
No, I like that you said that, because I agree. I think as of right now, even though I don't know much about the Beyonder, I just took him for what he was in these exact pages, and I just gave him this godly, voice, and like, again, like you said, very calm, has the whole situation clearly under control, even though she just tried to bomb him essentially, and nothing had affected him at all. So in that regard, ignoring Secret Wars or anything that he may have done, I just I'm like, okay, like this, I like this. I like where the story is going, because, and again, a lot of this was focused around Rachel, which I'm always intrigued with. So,
and we didn't mention the Nimrod cameo happening there. In that bottom, the last panel here has Nimrod, who's been a character that's been kind of cameoing in issues here and there. Now he's currently like rolling around New York as like a celebrity superhero character who's like stopping problems for characters for like citizens in New York. And so to see him, I don't know that we've seen him quite like this in the future in Rachel's story, being this assassin robot at this point. So it's kind of an interesting moment where we get to see him in this role.
Yeah, good point. Ryan says the best time to read this story is during dinner. Yes, agreed. Adam says that death is an actual entity in the Marvel universe, and in the previous Secret Wars 2 issue, the Beyonder killed Death. It's mentioned there that neither Rachel nor the Beyonder can kill or pluck that lily. Interesting.
Damn it, Adam. Nobody is reading Secret Wars 2. Come on.
Adam is on top of it. We need somebody.
We need him to fact check us.
Yes,
I really do need that information. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
No way I'm reading that.
All right, let's jump into the next bit here. So essentially, as you see Rachel really breaking down her emotions and everything that she's going through just from seeing those flashbacks, really destroys her here. And so again, going back to the Beyonder's thoughts when we first saw him, he's thinking about how can I, help others and make them feel they have purpose and be good and feel good. And so he comes up with this challenge or this ultimatum, this choice, as he puts it, where he said, because he's like, look, I understand you want to come after me. You think I'm this dangerous, person or whatever. Either one, you can do that and I won't stop you. I won't even fight back. He says, or two, he says, you could save your friends. And as he does that, cause she's like, what do you mean save my friends? Cause she wants to kill him essentially. Immediately, those sentinels that were in the Days of Future Past are now present in this issue. He brings them as she sees Storm flying through, concerned with, now she has to make a decision. Do I want to save my friends? Do I want to go after the Beyonder? That's the literal choice that he's now offering her. But in doing so, he does give her the power of the Phoenix. So that is a next level bit of information that I was kind of questioning. I know some people have kind of mentioned in the chat, she doesn't really have the powers of Jean Grey, or I wasn't sure, exactly where she stood, but here
I would say she has the powers of Jean. She doesn't have the Phoenix, right? The Phoenix is that separate entity, which makes her kind of omnipotent, but she does have Jean's telepathy, telekinesis, those kinds of things, the Marvel girl powers, as it were. But the Phoenix powers, she doesn't really have anything quite like that. Even though she's sort of claiming ownership of the title, and we saw her sort of draw some energy out of that little memory gem at the Gray household, but nothing like what she's being gifted here by the Beyonder.
Yeah, right. So she sees that the jet is falling, and Storm is the only one that's in it apparently, and she immediately goes to help her and then that's where she sees the Sentinels coming out of the water, and she immediately recognizes that this is the Omega series hunter killers. She said, but that's crazy, these weren't even designed until the turn of the century. She said, this is my time, before my eyes these were the butchers who massacred the X-Men. So immediately the stakes are higher. We know how serious this is now, especially after seeing the reminder of what happened in her past. So she's speaking with Storm, trying to figure out a way to get to the others. You see the Beyonder still kind of sitting there with his hands in his face. But they decide not to go after Beyonder, instead that they're going to save everybody, especially from these Sentinels. Alan, I'll throw it to you. What are your thoughts here now that we have like this choice laid out for us, and the fact that Beyonder has now, one, he's given Rachel the powers of Phoenix, and two, he's brought these dangerous Sentinels that technically don't even exist yet into the real world.
Yeah, this is really I didn't realize they used a lot of these tropes like that they normally use in like movies. This reminded me of like Green Goblin saying to Spider-Man, either save this person or save this group of people or come after me. But the thing is, it was very interesting because the Beyonder was like, oh, I want to have the chance of possibly dying. Right. So then maybe that adds another layer to the Beyonder. But I totally understand. It's not necessarily the Phoenix, but she said like she had some sort of fraction of the power of the Beyonder. Like, it's a very interesting thing because I feel like, of course, she's going to go save her friends. But yeah, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, what at this point of the story, like what's behind the Beyonder's like thought process of doing this? Because, she could do both if she really wanted to. But yeah, it's these Sentinels, right? Like the Sentinels that were like, I didn't realize how powerful they are. I know we're going to get to that in the next couple pages, but like, I think she realizes how strong these Sentinels are compared to like what they have in this current timeline of where they are. So I thought it was like, hey, it's a smart move. Let's do this. And then using her telepathy to help communicate with Storm and communicate with the other X-Men was like, all right, this is like kind of putting everything together. But at this point, this is like kind of that setup phase before the climax of the issue. So I thought this was a very good like trope to kind of use. Choose me or choose to save your friends. So yeah,
that's a great point. I thought, as you were saying that, I thought of Joker and Batman and Dark Knight and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very similar angle there. John, what about you? What were your thoughts here? In this
again, I feel like I can't blame Ramita Jr. very much here. I feel like he is doing some great stuff.
Yeah.
I love the way that he draws the energy pouring in and out of Rachel there. I think that is really fantastic. This sort of invisible chalice of his energy that he's sort of passing to her is really, really gorgeous. I love that. And the background light, the way the energy is moving looks so fantastic. And who doesn't love a good pink and purple robot fight? Like, yeah, throw them in there. They look fantastic for the most part. The one, the bottom, middle, maybe not so much, but for the most part, I really like them. Storm's hair looking great. It's on point. So yeah, for me, these panels are working a lot. There's some good excitement here. To your point, the choices, right? Having options and being sort of put into this situation. That's an interesting dilemma, and I think Beyonder is definitely okay with a new voyage in his life if she chooses to that his death is more important than her friends. But he knows what she's going to pick, which is why he has that amazing panel where it's like sad Beyonder sitting on a rock. Like something about it. It looks like such like a sad little impotent moment where he's just like, I'm going to just look at the flowers. I mean, I wish she would kill me, but she's not going to kill me. Like, whatever. Like, it's just such a sad little moment. And we don't get a lot of his thought process, right? We have that 9-panel grid we saw earlier where it's him sort of speaking and waxing rhapsodic. But the rest of this is all either him speaking out loud or us just trying to guess what his real motivations might be. Right. So that's obviously left us to our imagination.
Yeah, that's a good point. And even in offering this deal, he just says these are reasons of my own that he doesn't even want to share with her, essentially. But yeah, you're right. He doesn't. He's very much a private god.
Private god.
But all right, yeah. So let's keep this going. Then, so we get some pretty wild action here. I had to throw some Top Gun in there. Just
of course you did. Of course you did.
It's so accurate. So yeah, as Alan mentioned. Storm is talking with Rachel, saying, "Hey, like, let's set up a side link between the team. Let's get everybody on board. As of right now, the team's a bit spread out, so wanting to make sure everybody's safe and okay and aware that these things are going to be popping up. And then the one that jumps out of the water essentially grabs the Blackbird, and that's where things could get really dangerous. Luckily, Storm's able to kind of I thought this was a really cool set of scenes here of just her shooting straight up, and her mindset is, let me take the Blackbird all the way up and out, as high as I can to see if this thing can still handle that level, essentially going out into outer space. And as it reaches that, it freezes over, or the
Sentinel.
The Sentinel does. And then you see like the warbly arms and everything, these other cool kind of long panels on the far right hand side. And so she is able to shake at least the one. Meanwhile, we flash over to Magneto, who is now taking on another one who immediately gets tied up in what they use as a catch web. Is what the Sentinel says. And again, skipping through a lot of this, the Sentinels, you do get to start to hear their thought process. They read out, recognizing the different, what we all are like familiar with as far as Sentinels go, them explaining, oh, here's a X level mutant with the capability of X, and here's how we stop them, and blah, blah, blah. So we kind of get a lot of that too throughout this issue. But John, what did you think of these panels? What did you think of Storm in action here, flying the Blackbird?
Yeah, the Blackbird stuff is kind of interesting. I love those middle panels where they're kind of like striated, and the face of the Sentinel kind of gets like bled
stretching
out, like it's like you can't even see the shape in all the speed and the G forces in the atmosphere and everything. I like Storm's thought process here. She's she's even talking about how, like, God, I hate technology. Like, why am I dealing with technology now? It's like it's a whole new skill set. I mean, she's flown the Blackbird before and been hit in the head by a flying Wolverine eating his sandwich. This is a little bit easier for her to navigate, I think. The concept is interesting. I'm surprised that the Sentinel is so easily taken out, and that the Blackbird can handle the G forces of leaving our atmosphere. Is pretty amazing. I don't remember it having that capability ongoing, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Lastly, come on, Magneto, like get your shit together here, buddy. Like, you're the leader of the team. You're dressed all fancy. You control metal. These robots have a ton of metal, and you let them wrap you up like a party favor. Like, what the heck, man? You're supposed to be carrying this team. You're supposed to be all badass and invincible. And in one panel, they wrap you up in confetti and you're done. What? Are those muscles for show? Like, what is happening to you? I don't even know. Disappointed is what I'm going to say. Very disappointed.
Yeah. Thought it'd be a little bit more of a fight. I agree. Alan, what about you? What are your thoughts here? Seeing Storm in action and
I like how you chose these 3 pages. I gotta say, this is my second favorite set of panels. In this one, we'll get to my favorite in the future pages. But this actually makes me want to, like, I live near San Francisco. This makes me want to be a visitor and be a tourist in San Francisco again. I feel like seeing the Golden Gate Bridge from that viewpoint, that angle, I'm like, oh, this is where he got the idea of putting that picture was pretty cool. He must have been in that area to do that. And like John said, again, another trope. Why does every villain like to hang on to a hero and the hero flies straight up to orbit, and then it just like, for some reason, the villain just has to drop away? It just
works.
So true.
It just works. Now I'm gonna know what to do anytime a villain kind of encapsulates me. So I really like this because, like you said, Storm says, why does it take like so much stuff to just fly when I could have just done this on my own? It just took so little for me to do that. Yeah. I thought that was really telling and really cool to be like, all right, even though I don't have my powers, I know what to do to be a hero and make stuff happen, right? I know what to do to get the Sentinel off my back. It's very interesting to see like the Sentinel like still have attached arms with his body. So as he's falling down through the air, and like seeing, Magneto, he's gotta do something a little bit different. Like, if you're the leader of the X-Men, you got to have a few tricks up your bag, right? Yeah. He has to be able to do something there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Well said. Yeah, and Adam, same exact way that Spiral got him in 199. Magneto didn't learn a thing in the fight. He needs more danger room time. Agreed. And Lasso says the M is for mediocre. Yeah.
That's mean. That's mean. That's not inaccurate.
Roy Kirk talking about Storm. Yeah, here I am stuck in this tin can. Damn that Forge. Yes, let's not forget now. Forge, all your fault.
And I love that panel of Storm, like hands out on the control panels. Like there's great emotion and intensity to her.
Oh, big time. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's keep it going. So next up we have Rogue, who is going up against one of them, I guess, trying to sneak up at the one that's attacking Magneto that moment, but she immediately gets zapped, or zam as the zam. She immediately gets struck and falls to the ground. Her clothes are shredded, and she falls and hits all these different people. And as she does, because she touches each of them, she immediately, obviously with her powers, she takes on their personalities, their emotions, and her head starts spinning from all the different noise that's going on. You can see a lot of the different thought bubbles that she's overhearing. And that alone is like, taking up everything that she's dealing with right now, let alone just getting zammed out of the sky. And then you get Wolverine, who says, leave her alone, leave her be. Bub comes over to try to save her. He has a really cool moment of kind of diving through the head, or the back of the neck, I guess, of one of the Sentinels, slashing it for a second. But even he gets whacked, because these things, again, you cut their head off or you stab them in the head, they can still move, they can still fight, they still are programmed to be able to fight and not have any issues since they are just robots. So he's slammed off to the side, and then as he's about to get zapped himself, Phoenix jumps in front, or Rachel jumps in front to save or protect him, and then she puts up this force field while also giving, again, this is where kind of some questions come into play as far as what is her abilities, what can she do. In this instance, she actually gives Wolverine the ability to heal faster, or have like this supercharge, as they put it, but by her own power. So she gives that to him. She has this force field up. Sentinel tries to shoot at them again. They block it, but there's a reflection. She had to try to protect Magneto as well, all at the same time. And they start to devise a plan, which we'll get into in the next page. But a lot going on right off the bat. Alan, I'll throw it back to you. What's going on with Rogue here? She's got a headache from all these people she accidentally touched.
Oh my God. I like the way I was trying to figure this out. I'm like, how many people would she have to touch? Like, was she just like doing like stop, drop, and roll, trying to like touch all the people to get all of their thoughts in their head?
Right.
So I thought that was pretty funny. But then what was pretty interesting was that group of people there that were wanting to wondering, hey, we can't let that Sentinel hurt Wolverine. Like, what are these people gonna do against this huge Sentinel against Wolverine there? But I was like, oh man, Rogue, I feel you. I get migraines sometimes. I can't imagine hearing people's thoughts in my head going through all day long. Yeah, that's crazy.
Agreed. John, what about you? What were your thoughts here? And what did you think of some of the artwork here?
Definitely still some panels that I really love. That Rogue face with all the floating heads around her is fantastic. Like the emotional intensity coming off of that is amazing. Same with the final panel, that Magneto face where he's just like, all right, fine, I'm done being your party toy here. I'm angry now. I like that panel.
The close-ups, and then he's always good with those.
Yeah. The Wolverine slashing the back of the head of the Sentinel is pretty cool. So there's lots of things I like here. There's inconsistency in some of the fighting where it's like Rogue's got the drop on him, but like, nope, he spins around and blasts her. Okay, fine. That panel where like she's kind of carrying Wolverine and Magneto and flying them together is really odd. If you look too closely at it, it's like the sun. It will hurt your eyes a little bit. I don't see like half of her body, and she's a different size. It's like I can't quite understand the look of it. But the action is very intense. I like that kind of stuff. And the close-ups, he's doing better, I feel like, on the close-ups here than maybe on the bigger shots for some of this.
The one that bothered me was Wolverine with the red city background. I just thought, I don't know, the face, the way the arms are just too basic, too round. I don't know. That was one that stood out to me then. But I do agree with the others that you mentioned, that we're definitely still positive. The Wolverine
big net positive.
Net positive.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Let's see here. At the Sentinels, MW. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Ryan says, as Miss Ross saying, touch me in the morning and then just walk away. Yeah.
All those people touching her.
Yeah.
Which is what Jackson Roy Kirk says.
Rogue
if Rogue fell in front of me with her clothing torn, I'd rush over to touch her.
Yeah.
I get it. I get what you're saying there, buddy.
Let's go check it out. All right, let's keep it going. So this last panel here, and I'll go into the next set of pages here, but that last panel on the bottom right, Magneto does say, because they're like, hey, Wolverine wakes back up, he's like, hey, we got to go take the rest of these guys out, or because there was a ricochet of one of the blasts that were headed towards some of the people, and Magneto is like, all right, yeah, we can do all that, but we got to clear the way first and make sure that nobody, no innocent bystanders are there. And again, going back to like Wolverine giving him crap about things, this is another thing as we get into this next set of pages, is that Wolverine's like, wait, you actually care about ordinary people? When did that change? Or where he says that's a change of heart. And she actually Rachel has to jump in the middle of them because they're kind of arguing now about this point. And again, we've seen this a few times coming from Wolverine. But he makes a good point because again, this was, it wasn't so long ago that Magneto was a bad guy and he didn't care about being concerned about the innocent or the the lives around that might have gotten hurt. And he says, for better or worse, my friend, I am an X-Man and will play by your rules, is what Magneto says. So Claremont, kind of reminding us again and again that Magneto is trying here, and he's aware that it's not something he necessarily used to be careful of, and so I just found that interesting. From there, we get some cool panels of Phoenix basically turning around and going after the Sentinels. You get she tries to distract them with this glare, blinding them, or their sensors, I guess. Wolverine sets him up to do, as they say, what he does best, which I love. Anytime they can fit that line in for him, and he goes crazy, slashing up the leg of the one Sentinel. He falls to the ground, but we know, or Rachel knows, that these Sentinels have this healing factor, this reconstruction ability, so they won't be down for long. You got to take action on them when you can. You do get some cool scenes here from Magneto, who's now created this storm that turns to ice or snowfall as he kind of freezes them over, as you can see in the middle panels there that I tried to lay out. And then that gets the opportunity for Rogue to wake back up and shake off the noise in her head, and you do get her jumping in on that far side, kind of blasting through when they say, "Hey, we need your strength now. Can you come through and help us out here?" So that's kind of how they're dealing with this one particular Sentinel. John, I'll throw it to you. Any thoughts here as they take out this one purple robot?
I like the banter. The banter is good stuff. I do appreciate them calling things out. I still feel like this is such a odd Magneto issue for me that I really am struggling with him not just taking charge and getting in the game. Man, just grab a light post off the street and ram it through one of these guys. Do something. Pick up a car and crush one of these guys with it. I don't get it. Instead, he creates a magnetic vortex, a whirlwind in reverse, to suck super cold air from the very top of the atmosphere to sea level. And in a split second, the robot's surface temperature should drop to near absolute zero, and his metal skin will become brittle and vulnerable to a... Come on! This is flipping ridiculous. He has so many ways to fight these Sentinels that this is absolutely ludicrous to me. That all the things they're doing to fight these... here, just pick up Colossus and throw him like a missile through this guy. Use him. You could do a reverse the fastball special. You could throw him, just launch him. I don't understand that he now has Storm's power or Iceman's power. I've never seen him do this before, and it is bonkers to me. And then it leads to 5 panels of just John Romita Jr. drawing squiggly lines. Let me give you 10 pages of squiggly line pages. Can I give you? So the wheels are coming off. I also understand. He's trying. John Romita's look, Rogue's costume is torn. I can't show her from certain angles or I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
What you end up with are these very odd poses. I want to see her smashing through that Sentinel, but instead he gives me this pose from her where I can't even tell how her head is attached to her body in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I got some issues. Also, of course, Wolverine slashes the Sentinel and knocks it down, but all we get is that weird close-up slash picture, and then the Sentinel's already on his hands and knees. I want a timber. Let me see the damn thing fall.
It's a great point.
I'm getting robbed of some of the stuff I really wanted here at the end. And the climactic, Rogue smashes through this thing. It really doesn't have the intensity that I wanted it to have. So this is where I'm getting a little frustrated with it, I guess.
Yeah, no, you make some great points. I think that your idea of taking a lamppost and shoving it through they were holding that idea for Colossus to do later in this issue.
Right.
So they were like, well, we got to have Magneto do something a little different.
But they do it to Colossus. Right. They don't even do it to the Sentinel.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Colossus is the one that gets knocked over the noggin with it. And then later Kitty Pryde solves the problem. Yeah. But we'll get to Kitty saving the day as always.
The other thing I was going to say about Rogue was I had thoughts of Poison Ivy several times, just from some of the green shredded
with a skunk
like,
stripe,
like
Oh.
plant like with the skunks, Well, Alan, what about you? What were your thoughts on some of this stuff here?
Yeah, this is very interesting because I was missing some of that storm type of action going on. So this kind of filled that in just a little bit for me. I totally understand your perspective, John, but like, yeah, it was very surprising to me that now it's snowing in San Francisco because somehow magnetism worked in a way that made vortexes and froze sentinels. So I thought that was a very interesting take, but I was like, hey, whatever it takes to get it done, even if it takes 20 steps to do something you could have done in one, sure.
right?
Let's get there. But yeah, it would have been cool to see some sort of like, fastball special. I see Rogue flying through the body of a sentinel. I love when things fly through Sentinel's bodies. It's a call back to like Wolverine flying through the head, her now
Yep.
going through the chest. That was really cool. Just very interesting choice of somehow using, like you said, Iceman or Storm's power through Magneto. But yeah, whatever it takes to get it done, I guess.
Going the extra distance. Quick hello to Sheena in the chat. Just hanging out with her earlier this
Hey.
morning. Good to see you, Sheena. Yeah, Savage Rogue. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. So, I mean, that's really just her Savage Land.
Savage Rogue.
Dress code.
A
There.
precursor to the Savage Lands Rogue, and she's with Magneto too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Storm was like, right, Magneto, rub it in. Adam says that both Magneto and Phoenix could just completely dismantle Sentinel with one hand. Wait, yeah, that's a great point. Great point. All right, well, let's keep it going here because we do get Colossus, who technically was uptown, I guess. So in a little bit of a different location, but he also was trying to go one-on-one with a Sentinel, although at first one-on-one was what we thought. A really cool shot. I realized I actually didn't include the two pictures right before this one that you see here, but he's staring down one, and it essentially takes a light post, cracks it over Colossus's head, and then as he's down, it's about to stomp him out, but then he gets saved by his girl Kitty Pryde. Again, always MVP. Kitty Pryde pulls him underneath into the ground, phasing him through, which again, really cool use of her powers. I'm always intrigued to see how how she's how creative she can get with her powers and things like that. So nice to see it done that way. So she saves him. He's able to come back up through the floor and knock it off his feet with the help of Phoenix coming the other direction. So you do get some cool teamwork, between the team here. And then you can see Colossus, jams him in the chest with that same light post. So a lot of action here to kind of wrap up, at least, again, the initial issue that was created all because of the Beyonder, which was bringing all these Sentinels back. But we do get this, as they resolve these, taking out these Sentinels, this last page, this is the final page of the issue, is Phoenix flying back, or Rachel flying back to the Beyonder, who's sitting there with this smirk on his face. And he thinks he's looking forward to hearing her thoughts. He thinks, hey, I did something good for you. Like, how you feeling right now? Like, you must be feeling good. You must be, because this all goes back to his thoughts with the flowers and trying to, give people a purpose and everything else. And that's all he really was trying to do. I do genuinely think he meant well from all this. And even she says, like, I get like what you were trying to do meant well. However, you can't just, it's just not that easy. You can't just give me the powers and tell me what to do with them and try to set up the scenario for me to he had the whole thing created. It's all under his control to begin with. The stakes really weren't as high as what someone might have seen it as, knowing the background of what he was handling with all this stuff. She even says, I'm not just a puppet prancing around for your amusement. So she smacks him, which I like that she got a hit in on Beyonder. So she does smack him. She goes, see, I saved nothing. And she basically corrects him in understanding. This to me was almost like our scenes that we've seen with Warlock, who doesn't quite understand the human side of things or the earthly side of things and thinks they may be doing well in certain aspects. Not that Warlock was anywhere near like what Beyonder is in any sense, but still, just Beyonder not having a clue of really how to solving the issue of what he thinks he's trying to solve, and that's really all she leaves him with. She says, "You're more harm than good," is really what she leaves off with. None of this really helped. Thanks for nothing. And it's her flying off. So really interesting how because I was wondering, I was like, how's this issue going to wrap up? Where is it going to go after this? And it's just like kind of this like last page of him getting slapped, and again, she says some words that really do make sense and things that he needs to hear, but we don't even really get his thoughts on it after that. So I'm curious. Again, we are at the end of the issue. Start with you, John, just with how this whole thing ends between the Colossus and Kitty battle, and then the Beyonder at the end with Rachel. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, it is abrupt, but I will also say it's kind of a two-parter because the next issue is another Secret Wars 2 crossover, and we do get more David Hasselhoff in that one. So it's not wrapped, but certainly his work with Phoenix maybe is the point of this issue, right?
Yeah.
I really want to highlight too, because it took, and this is maybe a shot at Ramita here, it took me a while to understand what Kitty and Colossus are doing in this fight. I had to go back a couple of times and read it again and again. I love how she pulls him under the ground to save him.
Yeah, good point.
But then they come back up, and she's basically inside of him. She's basically like hiding inside of his, as he moves, she's kind of like trying to keep time with him, which I don't know how you keep that perfectly in tune with him, but whatever. So that what he does is he jams this thing through the Sentinel, but it's not harming the Sentinel because it's phased. Like the light post is not solid, right? It's a ghost light post. Right. But then she basically like steps out and turns it off, and then the light post is now through the Sentinel, right?
Yep.
It allows them to have put it through the Sentinel. And then, of course, Phoenix comes and supercharges it so that it blasts energy through the creature like a lightning rod and blows it up. Yep. So it's like all three of them kind of in conjunction working together. But it is tricky to like follow it because you're kind of like, he looks like he's swinging it, but then he looks like he poked it through, but there's no like particles blasting off when he hits it. And then it's later that Kitty Pryde kind of jumps out and was like, "Oh, phew, he didn't see me. That was lucky." Like, so she kind of has to explain a little bit of that.
I'm glad you pointed that out, John, because I forgot that was a part I had to go back to, and even that I couldn't comprehend exactly what was happening there.
And I think it's really complicated, and it's not drawn perfectly, and then not explained. So I think as a result, it's just it's really clunky that bit.
Yeah. And what do you think about the Beyonder stuff here at the end?
I don't know, man. The Beyonder. I do love that she gets a shot in. I do think that there is some level of understanding between the two of them as far as this power that he has and that she maybe dreams of having or wants to have in some way, that she wishes she could have the Phoenix power, right? And so I think that in that way, there's a yin and yang to them in some regard that I think is interesting. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Secret Wars 2, man.
Roy Kirk says, Kitty, see, Peter, I saved you despite you breaking my heart in the first Secret Wars. That's a great point, Roy Kirk. Yep. And Ryan says, the Beyonder is in love with Dazzler in the Secret Wars 2 storyline. Oh, okay.
So lots of bad plotting.
Bad plotting.
Got fired, Ryan.
Alan, what are your thoughts here on how this issue closed between the battle with Kitty and Colossus, and then everything going down with Beyonder here at the end with Rachel?
Yeah, I kind of really like. It was kind of confusing to me about the light post through the Sentinel, but it reminded me of Hoxpox. I remember there was this one scene with the Kitty Pryde, like kind of like phasing a gun through someone's thigh and then releasing it. And I'm like, oh, this totally reminds me of that. So then that was a really cool call back to that.
Good call. Yeah.
There's a weird, if Rachel has half of or a quarter or some sort of percentage of the Beyonder's powers, why does she need to like hold like an electric line and then like buzz the Sentinel? Like it's just like kind of phases of, scales of power were a little bit off for these couple of pages for me, but yeah, totally agree. that smirk on the Beyonder's face, like, oh, I thought I did something good, but nope, he didn't. And
He's
he
like a
just
little
got
puppy
slapped
dog.
in the face.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's a little puppy dog. He's a little puppy dog. All he can do, like, he tries to do good, but all he can do is harm, right? And
Yeah.
then she flies away. It was pretty abrupt to me, but like you said, I guess this is a two-parter. It's gonna kind of continue in the next one. But it was yeah, it was like, oh, what's happening next kind of thing for me. I'm like, oh, is this the last page? I had to like turn back.
Yeah. Good call. Ryan says, call 911. There's no one.
He can't find the 911. He's trying to find an 11 button. There's two, you got to hit the 1 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah. He's upset because Jax Roy Kirk is making some very bold statements in our chat. Dazzler is better than Wonder Woman is, I believe, the statement. And then he ran
the door.
He ran fast as he could.
It's like the Skeletor.
Yeah.
It's like, it's better than Wonder Woman.
Gotta go.
Bold take.
All right, well, these were the last pages, so yeah, I mean, curious of general thoughts and grades here at this point of the show. John, I will start it off with you first. Overall, what did you think of the issue? How would you grade Uncanny X-Men 202?
I'll be nice. It uses the Beyonder better than I think a lot of these crummy Secret War 2 tie-ins do. I think there's more function to what he's doing for Rachel here as far as the character design. There are some very confusing plot character kind of choices that kind of are irksome for me. But overall, John Romita Jr. is kind of the saving grace for me in this book. Like, he definitely and how often are we saying that? Not often, right?
No.
He elevates this to a much more entertaining story, especially, again, the first 2/3. I think his artwork is really carrying this in a big way for me. So I think overall, I'm going to be kind and I'll give this a 7 out of 10.
Yep. Fair. Well said. Alan, what about you? What are your final thoughts here, and how would you grade this on a CGC scale?
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good, I'm hoping, a setup for the next couple issues. But yeah, I guess if it moves the plot forward a little bit for Rachel, there was a bit of like incongruency with the story. I totally understand, but I'm hoping that this feeds into something better. But yeah, the art was fine. I thought it was okay. There was a couple things that I liked, a couple things that I didn't like, but like, I guess it comes with the territory of JRJR. But I would say I'd probably give this a 6.5 because I'm like, sure, like, I'll continue. I want this. It's good. It's good to have to push things forward, but it's okay. Like, I've had better, but like, I've also had worse. So it can't be too bad.
Yeah. No, I think well said. I'm right there with you guys. I'm probably a little lower ultimately. I was aiming closer to a 6, and I can echo Roy Kirk here. Story better than the art. Yeah. Ultimately, there were some solid moments of artwork. I won't hate as much on the art as I feel like I have in recent past, but yeah, like I just felt like this whole story was more of a, almost like it could have been a dream sequence. Almost it was something that just happened so quick and resolved so quick, and it needed to, because it ultimately, yeah, it's really just the Beyonder trying to like do this thing. This really to me was a Beyonder issue with Rachel. Like, it was about them two. It was about their communication and the lack thereof as far as what Beyonder thought he was doing right. And that was really it. And for me, it's hard to connect with it because of the fact that it's the Beyonder, and I just don't have that connection to him. I don't know anything about him. I'd never even seen him until this issue here. So all that stuff, it certainly doesn't help. I try to just take it as this random god is what he was or whatever. So that's why I give it a 6. I think ultimately, a lot of solid artwork. I do like to see the teamwork. I do like to see the battle sequences that we did see. A lot of them were creative and different ways of going through certain things. Again, I loved Kitty, pulling Colossus under the floor like that. So yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 6 here. So I see Chaos and Comics in the chat. What's going on, Chris? Good to see you. How can it be a Secret War? Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. If it's everybody talking about it
right there on the cover.
Yeah, Bobby giving it a 9.8 Beyonder White 2 pages. Matt with he says, I actually give it a 7.5 overall on this one. I didn't hate it as much as I really thought I would. Fair. Let's see. Did I miss anyone above? I think I got Adam says, I thought 7.5 beating up Sentinel is always fun. Great point. That's a great point. I mean, look, and like the cover was great. Like that should, that definitely should earn some credit too. Again, he says he was a Secret War 2 fan, so that's fair. Yeah, like maybe if I read that, maybe I'd be a little more attached. I think it's really just the character beyonder that I struggle with. Yeah. I stopped 8 wars, and the Secret War was one of them. All right. Well, there's the final scores that we have. Let's get into some of the numbers. There were really no other elements that I put in there, just highlighting that there was a flashback of Days of Future Past.
Magneto learns how to create temporal vortex.
Oh yes, that actually should have been it, right? Probably should have been it. I will say a 9.8 in this for this issue, fair market value, again based on Go Collect, fair market value $55 for a 9.8. There's 387 on the census.
Wow.
That's really not bad for this cover. This is probably one of the better covers overall that we've seen in this season. So to know that, I mean, it's really not bad. It is a little odd, a little skewed because it's a 9.6 fair market value went for only $5 less.
Right.
So I don't know how accurate some of these numbers are. I know, so this is also based on how often this book sells, has been sold, and who knows, maybe it really hasn't been sold in a long time. But yeah, so these are just some of the numbers here. But I don't know. If I saw this for $55 at a 9.8, maybe I try to haggle, get it for $45. It is a cool cover. So any thoughts here, gentlemen, on the numbers or any other key elements you want to add?
I mean, an odd book to get 500 copies in the 9.6, 9.8 range slab. That's a lot. I don't know why you would ever slab. I've got a very nice, clean copy here, and I'm happy with that. I'll keep it like it is.
Nice roll. Yep.
Yeah, same here. How much does it cost to slab a book? Like $30. If you can get closer to that price, then maybe it's worth it.
Sometimes even like 40 or 45 if you fast track.
Yeah,
and you're shipping, and
Yep. So, all right. Well, we have one other segment here, Alan, that we've added since you were last on the show. So we do our MVP of the issue, essentially just highlighting who you thought was the most clutch in this particular issue. So I have some examples here. Was it the Beyonder? Was it Storm? Was it Wolverine slashing up the leg of the Sentinel, or the Sentinel themselves about to crush Colossus there? Or of course we have Rachel, and I even threw Nightcrawler in there, even though he wasn't really that highlighted here. John, was there an MVP for you here?
It's so tricky because there's no. I mean, I'll do the easy answer and say Rachel, but she's also the one making the problem. So I kind of feel like she flew across the U.S. to start a brawl with a god, and then basically caused the Sentinels to appear and the team to have to fight them. So, you take the good and the bad, I guess, with her, but I do think this is her, I guess, rising to the challenge of these godlike powers. So, for me, I'll choose the obvious answer, which is because this is focused on her for sure.
Yeah, fair. Alan, what about you? Yeah, who's your MVP of the issue?
Yeah, I was thinking about two people, either Rachel or Storm, because Rachel saved Colossus, but I got to go with Storm for this one because, you got to save yourself, when you have no powers and you're so important to the X-Men in future issues, you got to make sure you're alive, and saving yourself for Storm, she's the MVP for me.
Adam.
I am with you. I'm going to go with Storm too, because, her Top Gun moments, Maverick moments in an issue like this, you gotta love that stuff. So
she's doing a good job leading as well, like setting up the Psylink. Hey, Rachel, connect us all together so we're communicating better. And, she's doing her part.
Yep.
Definitely not Magneto.
No, definitely not Magneto. I didn't even throw him on here. One of those
nor should you. I mean, Kitty Pryde, it would rank a lot higher.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. All right, gang. Well, there's the episode. Let me take this down. Don't go away. We have questions. We have trivia from last issue, which was Marvel Fanfare 33 that we broke down over on John's channel with our good friend Albert. So yeah, these 4 questions, we're looking for 2 correct answers, 1 incorrect answer. The incorrect answer is going to be selected by Alan as which one he thinks is his favorite incorrect answer. So if you're looking to make the judge laugh or play to his interests, keep that in mind. But yeah, so again, if you get your name, if you get one right, then you will be on our added to our list, our name list here for the prize wheel at the end of the season for the beautiful artwork that we have from the Fraim brothers. Again, I do recommend checking out the Fraim brothers. I put their link down in the description below as they are our featured guests of the season. But of course, we'll be giving away a bunch of other things as well that'll be in June. So, John, you want to kick us off with your first question?
Yeah, I'm going to throw a curveball. I'm going to change my first question that I sent you. So a whole different one. I had an issue or a concern maybe about the cover for the last issue. What was my concern about Magneto on the cover of Marvel Fanfare 33? We kind of talked a little bit about it. If you look closely at Magneto, I had a concern. What was my concern about Magneto on the cover of Marvel Fanfare 33?
Thank you, Roy Kirk, for dropping that line. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember. I had to flip back. I still had it tabbed.
Yeah, if you look at that cover for Marvel Fanfare 33, you might have the same concern.
Yeah, remember, it's a cool wraparound.
It is, yeah,
very cool wraparound.
I'll say yes to even though Impressed is asking it like Anchorman. Yes, I was concerned he was not wearing pants.
Yeah,
that it was just a shadow of light, and that he was just running around. Nudity in the Magneto the X comics these days, it's happening everywhere. You just gotta watch out. You might get flashed or something.
It's true.
So those, yeah, Lasso and Matt are both scoring the points.
All right. Chris is concerned with Magneto had boobs. Ryan says his cannonballs were exposed.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
He was a little flabby.
He needs that danger room time. You got to sweat.
Yeah. Wondering where his big M cape went.
It's very important.
That's
he was not dressed for the courtroom in last issue.
No, he wasn't.
It wasn't a concern. It was a hope. Yes. Optimism.
Alan.
Anything you'll like there, Alan? Yeah.
So who were the first 2 who got them?
Lasso and Impressed, Matt.
Impressed. Okay. I'm sorry, I gotta go with Jackson Roy Kirk with the last second input of his magnet was pointing south.
Well done, Jackson.
Nice.
You just slipped in there, Nice.
All right. My first question is, what did Magneto ask Colossus to help with in the beginning of the issue? Remember, there were scenes with everybody hanging out near the pool. Magneto was with Lee. And he had asked a favor of Colossus towards the beginning of the issue. What was it that he asked him to do? I'll be flexible with this answer depending how you.
Jackson came back from running out the door to drop our start lines. I appreciate you doing that.
Yes, thank you, sir.
I know that Ryan scared you off.
Let's see. Yeah, again, what did Magneto ask Colossus to help with in the beginning of the issue? If you don't know the correct answer, throw in something funny. Okay, so I'll go with these first 2. Ryan, help move the crate. Yeah, there was like a crate delivery package that was there, and he asked him to move it. Pretty large crate. So Candace, the other one on the board here, to lift and move a crate. Correct. So Ryan and Candace got you both there as the correct answers. Ryan says help him play that funky music, White Boy. Yeah, that's right. Wild Cherry, love it. Bobby says how do you say get off my foot in Russian? Standing on his foot, not good. Chris says I don't know, he's not sure.
Just supposed to be funny, Chris. I know you have it in you, buddy.
Yeah. You're better than that, Chris. You're better than that. Adam says Magneto wanted Colossus to be a refrigerator magnet.
Fair.
I like that. It would be great. Magneto just like throwing him up on a fridge anytime he walks by. him or Wolverine, like the two of them. Wolverine be like, all right, man, it's getting old. Alan, anything here that you like as your
I gotta go with the refrigerator magnet.
all right,
Let's
Adam
go.
makes stuff up on the board. Bam.
Nice.
John.
Last question from me. The previous issue had a lot to do with Rogue and this alien creature robot thing that was connecting her with all these superpowers that it had kind of absorbed from the Marvel universe. So can you name, folks, 2 superheroes whose powers Rogue uses in the issue? I can think of 3. I just want any 2 that you can think of.
Yeah, this was good because we really highlighted a few.
Or pick ones that you think would be funny. Right.
That's a good opportunity there.
Which characters would she be odd that she manifests? I'll take Adam and Candace right off the bat.
Yeah.
I wrote She-Hulk, but Hulk, I would say it's in the same ballpark.
Yep.
The other one that I had
Spider-Man,
was the Human Torch.
Oh yeah.
She does Spidey, the Human Torch, and a Hulk.
Yeah.
One version or another. Steals can humans torch.
Steel can humans torch.
Is that like a kiss from a rose?
That's what I was thinking.
Which seal are we talking about here?
Howard the Duck from the live action movie.
Fair. Spidey Hulk. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she kind of has almost all the powers going at one time, right?
Yeah.
The judge. Oh, Ryan. There's no room for country music here.
Only Backstreet Boys.
Only
That's
Backstreet
right.
Boys, yeah.
That's right. Boy bands, Ryan.
Obnoxio and Forbush Man. The fact that I know that those are actually real characters and not just stuff he's making up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Obnoxio, isn't that the clown or is that
it's the like Mr. Mixoplitlic that they ran
across.
across in that one annual.
I didn't know Forbush Man. I didn't know that one.
Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. That's,
there you go, Ryan.
Backstreet's back. All right.
Freaker. I'm old.
That's fair. Anything you like there, Alan?
I have to go with it because I didn't understand it. Steel can human torch.
Yeah. Is that Bobby? Yeah.
Bobby.
Let's go. Let's go, Bobby.
Bobby.
All right. One more
That's a good
question for the evening. It is, how did Kitty try to sneak up on Wolverine at the pool? Again, towards the beginning of the issue, they're all hanging out, having a good time, casual X-Men, good times on the random hidden beach that Magneto had brought the team to. But yeah, she was kind of playing around, trying to sneak up on Wolverine. How was she trying to? I should say. There's a line. Thank you for the line. Thank you, spell check. Yeah, I'm going to go with the first 2 here. Candace phasing under his chair, and Ryan also got it correct with under his lawn chair. Yeah, she was trying to. It was similar to the features that we just saw in today's issues. She had phased in from under the underground and came up under him. However, it didn't work because he immediately knew. The minute her head popped up, he was like, "Nice try. I know where you're at right now. You can't get by me." But it was a good effort. So yeah. So we have Candace and Ryan for the correct 2. Let's see. Phasing in the water, which wasn't much of a change. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be. Definitely not. Slide like a snake through the grass. Empress says she creeped up. She creeped up on him. All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Any other incorrect answers? How did
not a lot of comedy there?
No,
Light on comedy tonight.
Yeah. How did Kitty try to sneak up on Wolverine at the pool? Sang "Love Hangover" by Diana Ross.
I'll accept it.
Classic. Yeah. Give another second here, but
as a reminder, next week We've got Chinmo over on my channel for issue 203 and the finale, if you will, of this storyline. No more Secret Wars 2, I promise you. This is the last one.
The finale. The Electro pinup page. Oh, Electra, the Electra pinup page.
That was a good one. That was a very
that was a good one.
Very good drawing.
She wore normal clothes, Candace says. That's right. Yeah, I mean that's very much not what she normally does, for sure. No more wire hangers? Wire hangers?
Yeah, that's from a movie.
Oh.
An old movie, yeah. Adam, I get that reference.
She climbed a mountain and read a comic about him. Nice, Matt. Nice. Play to our judge here. That's right.
Yeah, I got to go with Impressed. I got to go with
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Matt on the board again. Incorrect answer.
All righty.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's our Uncanny 202. Alan, dude, thank you so much for always being part of the show, coming back on again with us. It's always a great time hanging with you.
Always fun.
We appreciate you, brother, and definitely have to have you back, as always. And again, anybody not following Alan, make sure you do so. I put his information in the description below. Alan, you have any upcoming travels that you have that you're bringing some comics to in the near future? Any vacation?
No upcoming travels for this year, but hopefully just something local in the Bay. Cool. I like to go hiking around here, so I'll bring some books up to the mountains.
Nice. Yeah. Love it. Love to see it. Very cool. Well, again, appreciate you being here. Reminder to everybody as well that, as John said, we're going to be over on his channel next week. So make sure you're subbed up to him next Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern, with our good friend Chinmo. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. And until next time, we will talk to you later. Peace.